Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Wednesday. Good morning, America.
A man of the people in the street.
That is one committed fan base. You know, I just had a nice dinner with Harper, took a little walk after dinner. Everybody's already lining up for this concert. Incredible. And then look at it right now. Sam is there. Larry's going to be there. Hundreds more fans getting ready for this big concert.
We cannot wait to see more from that party in the park. Yes. Also ahead, we are tracking end-of-summer travel deals, including the domestic round-trip ticket you can get for less than $50, and the major airline offering a $199 unlimited travel pass.
Yeah, that's going to help some people. Plus, we have the unusual catch in Cape Cod. Fishermen reeling in a tiger shark normally found in the tropics. Rhiannon Alley will tell us why we're seeing more of them up north.
But we're going to begin with the potential security threat to President Trump. Los Angeles authorities say they arrested an armed man at the Trump National Golf Course in advance of the president's visit. Kana Whitworth is on the scene for us there. Good morning to you, Kana.
Yeah, Robin, good morning to you. So authorities say that the suspect's behavior raised several red flags and led them to a cache of weapons and ammo and what they described as concerning writings. This morning, troubling allegations against a California man now facing state and federal charges after police say he was found with a loaded weapon at President Trump's golf course near Los Angeles. 38-year-old Janine John Taylor was said to be acting suspiciously on the grounds of Trump National Golf Course on July 31st, wearing an earpiece, taking pictures and videos, appearing to monitor security planning activities.
He appeared to show that he was surveilling the site and taking an interest in the site that was beyond what they would consider as normal.
According to authorities, he then returned 2 days later, approaching federal agents saying he worked for the State Department as part of the security detail. Federal agents contacted the local sheriff's office, who took Taylor into custody. Authorities say they found hollow point bullets in his pockets and a loaded pistol in his vehicle parked at the course, along with a badge that read Fugitive Recovery Bail Enforcement Agent. In a search of the suspect's home, authorities say they found an illegally modified AR-style rifle, body armor, radio signal devices, and multiple notebooks containing what officials described as concerning statements. The assistant director of the FBI Los Angeles field office says in a statement, there is no room for error, particularly in light of previous attempts on President Trump's life. Now, the suspect is due in court later today. Authorities are still investigating a motive, but they say they're thankful that an arrest was made ahead of the president's visit. Michael.
All right, Kana, thank you for that. We're going to go now to the latest on the wildfires in Washington state, the most destructive in the state's history. We're seeing new images of people escaping from the flames as the man accused of starting one of the fires faces a judge. Alex Stone is in Spokane, and good morning to you, Alex.
Michael, good morning to you. Yeah, so many people are now coming home to find this with evacuation orders being lifted and lightened. This home belonged to a newlywed couple, only married for 2 months. Now they're dealing with this as we're learning new stories of escape and survival to get out of here.
This morning, a dramatic escape from the flames by boat. These incredible images of residents taking shelter on Lake Spokane. Bill Struett was in the caravan of boats that left their neighborhood threatened by the Autumn Lane fire.
My eyes were hurting. I had to put my head down underneath the steering wheel and push my way through. I had a T-shirt wrapped around my face to cover my face and got through the smoky aspects of it.
And fire on both sides?
Fire on both sides, yeah. And homes burning up.
This is the man who prosecutors say started the most destructive of the 3 wildfires burning around Spokane. 37-year-old Aaron Farinacci appearing in front of a judge via Zoom on Tuesday. Farinacci was stopped by police near where the Old Trails fire started after residents called to report him. Prosecutors say he had matches and a butane lighter.
He was bent over, looking towards, doing something in the grass and toward the tree line area. And when he saw us, he immediately stood up, turned around to face us and watched us the whole way.
The fires are now the most destructive in the history of Washington state. At least 700 structures damaged or destroyed, and more than 10,000 acres burned. Kimber and Kristen Renz's home had been in the family for over 30 years.
There's a lot of family heirlooms left in the house. It's all those memories. It's, you wake up and you think, oh, this is gone. This is gone.
Firefighters trying to put out the flames before wind and heat return later this week.
And George, so many families are telling us they don't know what they're going to do at this point. If they're going to stay and rebuild or sell their land and go, they have a long journey in front of them.
Oh, they sure do. Let's go to Ginger right now. Ginger, this heat and smoke is spreading.
Yes, that's for sure. Wenatchee, Washington, down to Bend, Oregon had some of the worst air quality this morning in the Pacific Northwest, and that will expand because the winds are down. That's good for the fires, but it doesn't move the smoke much. So that's why you see air quality alerts in place for the entire state of Colorado, up through parts of Idaho, Wyoming, Washington, and Oregon. There are obviously other fires burning in California and Utah. You can see them on the map there, but that near-surface smoke was almost 3 times the hazardous level yesterday in some parts of Washington state. So we're going to be watching the air quality for sure the next couple of days. The heat has been around for almost a week in the Southwest. Extreme heat warning still in place, and that goes through the end of this week. But Portland, Oregon makes their way into the heat advisory. They could stop, though, in the mid-90s, short of records, only because the smoke will obscure that sunshine. We will see a daily record possible in Las Vegas, 112 on Friday. Guys.
All right. All right, thanks to you, Ginger. Now, the high-stakes primary in Michigan. Jay O'Brien is in Detroit, has the very latest for us. Good morning to you, Jay.
Robin, good morning to you. A nail-biter of a Senate primary here in Michigan, exposing a fight over the future of the Democratic Party itself.
This morning, a crucial Democratic Senate primary that grew into a battle for the soul of the party itself, still too close to call. Dr. Abdul Al-Sayed waking up with just a slim lead over Congresswoman Haley Stevens.
I wish I could tell you that I was declaring victory right about now. Turns out it takes a long time to count some votes in Michigan. It's a big state.
Both addressing exhausted supporters in the wee hours of the morning.
We knew that this was going to be a close race, and that's exactly what we've got.
A former state health official and self-defined capitalist, Al-Sayed was backed by top Democratic socialists, focusing his campaign around tackling the cost of living and rejecting Israel's war in Gaza.
Shouldn't be this hard to pay your taxes and know that that money is going to be spent on you rather than to drop bombs on somebody else and their kids.
A message that energized young voters like 26-year-old Ashley Hicks.
You don't feel like the party's listening to you?
I don't think the Democratic Party has been listening for a very long time.
Stevens branding herself as a folksy and moderate can-do Democrat, backed by the party establishment.
I am tough as nails when Michigan is being challenged right now. You know, Donald Trump is skirting all around, selling us out to the highest bidder, selling out Michigan. It's not right.
And pitching voters that she can win in the fall.
I went with Stevens, with Haley Stevens. I felt like she was going to be a fighter for Michigan, you know, trying to keep, you know, Michigan jobs in Michigan and working with the people.
On the Republican side, former Congressman Mike Rogers advanced to the general election. He ran unopposed. Remember, this seat is held by a Democrat, Senator Gary Peters, who's retiring, and Democrats need to defend it if they want any hope of taking back power in the Senate in the midterms. Michael.
All right, Jay O'Brien, thank you so much for that. We're going to go now to the latest on the war with Iran. Administration officials say there's been progress in talks on getting more ships through the Strait of Hormuz. The stock market rallying on the hope that a deal can be reached. Matt Rivers is in the Middle East for us. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Michael. After a tense back-and-forth attacks for weeks, are we finally set for a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, at least in some way? That will be the question of the day. Overnight, President Trump saying he believes the talks are going well between Iran and the U.S., saying a deal could come later today or tomorrow. He said, quote, "We're moving along very nicely, could happen." This after both the Secretary of State and Secretary of Treasury also signaled similar signs of optimism for a deal. And to that end, the stock market jumping on the news with both the Dow and the S&P 500 closing at record highs yesterday. What the deal actually entails, however, remains unclear. And it's worth noting the administration has said a deal is imminent multiple times throughout the war, only for nothing to materialize. No word yet from Iranian leadership yet, but Iran has said repeatedly it would not agree to any deal that returns the strait to that open, unrestricted, toll-free way it operated before this war began. Meanwhile, things remain very tense in both the Strait of Hormuz and the nearby Red Sea. Overnight, Houthi rebels in Yemen, saying they fired missiles at a Saudi tanker in the Red Sea after we saw 2 more ships targeted on Tuesday. It's a reminder of just how desperately a deal is needed to lower those tensions and hopefully gas prices along with it. George?
Okay, Matt, thanks very much. Now to the latest on Ohio Congressman Max Miller, accused of domestic abuse by his ex-wife. He's refusing to drop out of his race for re-election as a key deadline nears, and now faces an ethics investigation in the House. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. This private family scandal has taken quite a public turn here on Capitol Hill. Despite warnings from President Trump and a handful of Republicans, Congressman Max Miller says he's not going anywhere, that he's staying in this race.
This morning, embattled Congressman Max Miller growing increasingly defiant as allegations of domestic abuse rock his re-election campaign.
There's no chance that I'm removing myself from this race.
The family scandal erupting into full view on Capitol Hill when Miller's former father-in-law, Republican Senator Bernie Moreno, spoke out, accusing him of putting their family through hell.
This is truly the 7th level of hell. This has been a horrific experience for my entire family.
The senator's daughter, Emily, claims Miller, her ex-husband, abused her. In a February report obtained by ABC News, she claims he threw her against the wall, once held a gun to her head, and another time threw hot water on her. He denies all the allegations.
This was nothing more than a political move because he knows I've never hurt his daughter.
But Moreno says Miller is a madman, and his 2-year-old granddaughter is caught in the middle.
I had to go pick her up because I don't want my daughter interacting with this man. So I meet him at the Bay Village Police Station because that's the place that we have to go to meet because I don't know what this guy's capable of. She comes over, gets in our car, we drive away, and if anybody who's a parent, she has a little blue bunny that she sleeps with. Max would not hand over the little blue bunny. Literally held it hostage for 48 hours. This girl is crying at night because she can't sleep without her little blue bunny. His answer is, I'm just not gonna give it to you. So finally yesterday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, yesterday, he lets the little blue bunny go. This is the level of total and complete depravity.
Miller is also accused of fracturing his daughter's collarbone, which he denies, claiming his daughter was hurt by employees at daycare. The local Department of Children and Family Services did not find evidence to substantiate allegations of child abuse against him. President Trump has publicly stood by Miller, a former close aide. But Miller says the president raised concerns about whether he could win re-election. Many Republicans silent. We tried asking Senator John Husted, who also represents Ohio.
Do you believe that Miller should resign? Are you calling on him to get out of the race? Why aren't you commenting?
So the Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, says the domestic affairs of members of Congress are, quote, not his business. He says that he's calling for this process with the House Ethics Committee to now play out, but that investigation could take months. And Miller has already missed one key deadline to get out of this race as he remains defiant. Meanwhile, Congressman Edwards of North Carolina announced overnight that he is going to be ending his re-election bid after the House Ethics Committee found that he violated sexual harassment rules here on Capitol Hill by engaging in inappropriate behavior with 2 young female staffers. Both of these scandals rocking Capitol Hill, Robin.
Absolutely. All right, Rachel, our thanks to you. Now to the fast food chain Chipotle, pulling jalapeno peppers at some of its locations over concerns of possible salmonella contamination. Elizabeth Schulze has those details. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Robin. This is another concerning headline about the safety of our food. Health officials are now investigating a salmonella outbreak possibly linked to jalapenos served at Chipotle restaurants in multiple states. We don't know all the states yet, but Minnesota's health department is reporting 110 cases. They say most people got sick after eating at Chipotle from mid-June to mid-July, and other Mexican-style restaurants are also under investigation. Chipotle says it removed jalapenos from all the restaurants where they'd been distributed and replaced them with product from different growers. Most people do recover from salmonella within a week, but people who are young or immunocompromised should see a doctor. And this comes as that record cyclosporiasis outbreak keeps expanding. The CDC says nationwide there are now more than 22,000 cases of the parasitic stomach illness across 47 states. In a typical year, we usually see between 2,000 to 3,000 cases. Cases in about a dozen states have been linked to Taylor Farms. iceberg lettuce. Now, it is normal to see an increase in foodborne illnesses in the summer when bacteria can multiply in warm weather, but all of this is really testing food safety investigators. Michael.
Yeah, that is a big uptick there, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. And we're going to go now to a suspected hack into a U.S. water system that may be part of a series of cyber attacks on water utilities in at least a dozen states. Sources tell ABC News that Iran is the prime suspect. Chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is tracking the latest developments. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Michael. Good morning, guys. And with the help of our affiliate in Atlanta, WSB, we're now learning that 2 Georgia water systems were targeted in cyber attacks that are believed to be the work of Iran. At least one of them, the Clayton County Water Authority, briefly advised people to boil water. Columbus Water Works also said it detected an intrusion, but drinking water there was unaffected. Sources told ABC News the hack affecting water and wastewater utilities in at least a dozen states exploited a vulnerability in widely used utility software. A fix has now been issued, but utilities across the country that run the same software are racing now to see if they too were hacked. It appears so far nobody has become sick and there have been no widespread disruptions to water supplies, but officials are still working to understand the extent of the hack and what could have happened to systems that Americans depend on every single day, guys.
That's really spreading. Okay, Aaron, thanks very much. Going to switch gears now. Yep. Sam is out there in Central Park for our summer concert series.
Hey, George. So, Young June was just doing a sound check. We have thousands of excited fans here for our party in the park with K-pop superstar Young June. He just dropped a new album. He's going to perform some new songs from it, including Ice Cream. And then there's that viral dance challenge on social media. I'm not going to dance. You guys might dance. I feel like you're going to. We're going to leave it to the backup dancers as well. Energy is super high. These guys are ready. We cannot wait. It is our party in the park, and it's happening right here.
Oh, my goodness. Sam is being modest. They're cheering for him. We all know that.